If you don't know much about Eto, which is us, we record things and then forget to upload, / get too busy to upload. So this Spider-Man Far From Home podcast was actually recorded the day after it came out, and it's just very delayed, so if there's any thoughts that you're like, ugh, how are they that stupid? It's because we didn't have, literally now, almost a month to process them. So, go easy on us, enjoy this little discussion, post-film discussion, for Spider-Man Far From Home. Full spoilers ahead!
Hey guys, and welcome back to another Edo catch-up. I am Josh.
I'm Will. I wish there was cameras on us, because when you did that, I, legitimately jumped. I didn't jump the whole film, but I jumped when you did that.
I'm so sorry. And the film we are talking about is, of course, Spider-Man Far From Home. Came out yesterday as of the time of recording.
Yes.
It was a good one.
It was a good one. Look, this is a spoiler cast. Our thoughts are, it's a good one. If you haven't seen it, I just suggest just go see it.
Let's just go very general thoughts to start with. Just big overview thoughts.
Yeah.
How'd you find it all?
I thought it was really, really good. I thought the first act could have done with what they cut from it, which was this mini sequence of Peter, earning money and doing, that crime scene that's in the trailer in the Iron Spider suit. And there's a whole sequence that they lifted from the film because they didn't want to put it in there. I feel like it needed it. The movie just kind of started and suddenly they were on the plane. I feel like it needed a build and a bit more energy before they actually went to Europe. But apart from that, from the moment they're on the plane, this is one of the best MCU movies. It's just wall-to-wall good.
I'll honestly say it didn't hit me until about halfway through.
Yeah, right.
I was enjoying it for the most part because the first half was pretty much all in the trailers.
Right, okay.
The major beats and stuff were mostly in the trailers and stuff. It was still good fun. I still enjoyed all of it, but it was just once trippy stuff started happening.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about later. That's when I really sort of settled into this. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Because I thought, obviously the trailers showed every single fight in the film, but I thought they'd really cleverly found additional things to give us in between each fight. I don't know, I was interested and consistently surprised throughout the entire film.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't know. I guess, I've been doing overtime the last few days,
maybe you're just tired.
Maybe my brain was just dying or whatever. But, I did enjoy the whole movie. It wasn't that I wasn't enjoying it up to that point. I was just I feel like I've seen this part already. Just constantly, just a scene after scene after scene. It was... Yeah. Anyway, I did really enjoy it, but shall we dive deeper?
Yeah, let's dive a little deeper. First off, if you saw the Endgame re-release, you saw the opening of the film, which I thought was very interesting.
That was so weird.
Yeah. They literally,
what the hell?
The entire cold open was the special tease for Far From Home, right up till, the hard cut to nothing.
I don't understand why they released that a day, 2 days before this film came out. What's the point? It's not a teaser.
It just, I don't know.
It's the start of the film.
It really made it hard to be excited when the movie started.
Yeah. Yeah, I really wish I didn't see that now.
I mean...
I don't know.
And then we dive into, I Will Always Love You.
That was bizarre.
That was
then
amazing.
It became totally clear why that was happening.
It was so weird and so perfect and so synced to the Marvel opening somehow. The beats just worked and it was
it was...
They're boom, and it was right on Cap's shield glow. I was like, oh, guys.
Yeah, it was not... I was not expecting that song to ever be synced to the Marvel logo opening. It was so bizarre, but... back to the classic school news show. Oh man, they're just brilliant.
Our favourite thing from that film, which didn't get enough attention, I'm glad that was the opening of this entire film.
Yes. Oh yes. So great.
And I love the montage of photos. There's a few photos that have Getty images, watermarked over everything.
Yes. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. God, I mean, it's something that I feel this film, Homecoming does, but it doesn't have as much time to do it, because it's, I mean, both of them do the Spider-Maning, but this film nails high school somehow, despite not being in high school. I feel like it's even more high school than Homecoming.
Yeah.
There's something about, like, the interactions, the amount of field trips I went, not field trip, you don't call them that really, but like camps where you get on the bus and you're like, oh, there's that girl I have to sit next to her. And then when you don't sit next to her, you're like, well, that's it then. My life is over. I'm never going to be with that person.
Yeah, absolutely. They hit high school really hard.
Yeah.
Like, it's exactly what it is, like, maybe turned up to 11 a little bit.
Yeah, you generally aren't found naked next to a attractive blonde woman inside a bar.
Yes. But, yeah, it's just, you can relate so much to everything that they do in terms of high school. Like, the fact that that Ned and Betty just, like, start a relationship on the flight over.
Yeah.
And they're just suddenly super cutesy and stuff.
It's
like,
so real.
What a beautiful thing. And then we have another douchebag who didn't seem like he was going to be a douchebag, but then he ended up being a douchebag.
Yeah. Strange.
I don't even remember his name.
Yeah, no, I that was an interesting choice. I guess they just needed that for Peter to be a bit more stressed out, but, you know, whatever works. I do like one of my favourite moments in the whole film, and it's the loudest the audience laughed the entire film, is the teacher, Mr. Harrington, talking about his wife that faked being part of the blip and to move on.
Yes.
And they have a funeral, and there's a video, and like, the audience just didn't shut up that whole bit. They didn't react to anything else in the movie except for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine were very reactive this time.
Oh,
so
lucky.
We've swapped audiences.
Yeah, no, mine didn't do anything. I did start an applause at one point of the movie we'll get to, that I was very happy I did, because it's very much the Will moment of the movie. But
Very good.
yeah, that moment. And that teacher, both teachers in this movie. I'm so glad we got a new teacher. I wrote his name down. What was his name? Mr. Dell.
Mr. Dell, of course.
Yeah, and I think his first name's Julian or something, because it gets screamed later in the movie.
Yes, yeah, it does.
I'm doing my best, Julius!
Yeah, I love these teachers again. Like, it's just your silly teachers turned up to 11 again.
Yeah. When in
Fantastic.
Rome, do as the Romans do. When in Venice, your socks get wet. What? Why?
It's great.
Yeah. So they do. They end up in Venice. That's where they all head. It's weirdly paced. I think George G. Caps, if you want to follow him on the Tweety or the Letterboxd, he likened it a little bit to Iron Man 3, where it's like, you can't really talk about it because the movie just kind of unfurls.
Yeah.
Like, it just slowly happens and stuff happens. And then the third act is, like, explosive, but stuff just kind of happened throughout the film. And it's very much like that.
Yeah, a little bit. I will say, just on Mysterio.
Yeah.
I think just, like, up until he turned, and then we find out that he's a bad guy. I know he was hiding underneath everything, and there was probably a purpose for it, but he just seemed so, like, generic.
Well, yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, wasn't saying much or doing much. And I don't know, there was just something about that. I'm like,
oh, right.
Like, I wanted some, I don't know what I wanted from it.
That's so interesting.
Like, I knew he was going to be a bad guy, but I'm just like, just talk and stop saying such generic things. It makes sense in the end. But when they're at the bar and they're doing the whole exchange, is that the bar with no name, or is that...
I thought that, but they're in Prague. So, like, would it be in Prague?
The bar moves, doesn't it?
That's true.
Doesn't it just move to wherever it needs to be?
Because I kind of thought that was it, because he doesn't have his mask on. Both of them don't have their mask on.
Yeah.
Peter doesn't have his mask on, and I was like, and that was my tipping point where I'm like, okay, this is the moment. This is the moment when nothing here is real.
Yeah.
Because I was like, there's no way, because it's like Peter's so self-obsessed, as he was with Tony in this guy, so he is revealing everything to him, so he's letting this happen. But if Mysterio was a good guy, still in that moment, he wouldn't allow Peter to have his mask off in a real bar. So as soon as that happened, I was like, yep, here we go.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
But maybe that's the establishment, because it is a bunch of bad guys in a bar.
I can't imagine them ever really doing like a full-on Bar with No Name, because that would mean that they would have to get all of the villains, or like a whole bunch of villains to hang out, and I just can't imagine them doing that in a film.
Yeah, the MCU has a villain in a film, and generally they're dead or in a prison. There's never floating around people.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if they'll ever do it, but this seems to be as close as we're going to get.
And I think we talked about that when the trailer came out. I think we predicted that a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, there was a bit of a scene in the trailer with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did like that. And man, we should just directly talk about Mysterio from that point. If you don't, I understand he's a bit dry beforehand, which I personally liked. Knowing where it was going to end up, I'm like, I like this because this is a tech guy or a special effects guy that is trying to be cool, that's trying to be a hero, so it's so forced and such a rubbish persona. So knowing that he was going to twist, I was enjoying it. I'm like, this is so silly.
Yeah, okay, cool.
But I loved the fact that he was they push it more in the tech side, but when he's wearing a mocap suit, it's like, that's it. That's Quentin Beck. That's a special effects man. Like, I love that deep within their tech-heavy version of it, I love that that's still pure to his character.
Yes, yeah, that made a whole lot of sense, that mocap suit. And it's like, it's basically the mocap suit that you see everyone else in.
Totally. He would be wearing that.
In your behind-the-scenes things. It's perfect. So good. Man, alright. Can we just jump to the part where it all turns?
Yeah, sure.
Those special effects, man. Holy freaking crap. Just when everything starts turning and he just totally trips up Peter.
Yeah.
And it's your freaking like Scarecrow in the Arkham games. It's just that.
It's perfect. It's what I've always wanted. It's like, it's kind of what we got with Scorpion's gas in the PS4 game. Like that weird trippy sequence and stuff like that. And like, Negative Man does a weird thing as well. But like, man, was it perfect. It was just, and like all the little references, like the Hall of Mirror and like the multiple spider people, kind of like in the Spider-Man 2 game with Mysterio. Like that happened. I'm like, oh, buddy.
Yeah, it's so good, man. That pile of Spider-Man was so weird. It's so many limbs.
It's like Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Oh. So odd.
And we got Marvel Zombies Iron Man, kind of.
Oh, far out. Such a weird thing, man.
Yeah, I'm glad they went there.
Yes, I absolutely love that. I think I said to you before, but the thing that stuck out to me the most out of that whole scene was just the giant fist bursting out of a building and punching him. It was such a big fist.
It was a big old fist.
It was such a big fist. I love it. It's so bizarre.
And I love in that quiet moment where it's like he bursts out of the building and then it's like, and it just goes straight back into it in like within a second. That was so cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Man. And then probably one of the most violent things in any of the MCU films. Just getting hit by a train.
Holy crap, yeah.
That was so intense.
And then he absolutely nearly died.
Yeah. And like he looks worse for wear.
And then where did he end up? The Netherlands, was it?
Yeah.
Oh man, that scene was the best.
It was so funny.
Like, what even happened in that prison?
Yeah.
So good. The other dude just like wearing his hat, like wearing his mask, and
and then they guys lock the
door, just lock themselves back in the prison.
Yeah. And he goes up to the guy, he's like, where are we? And the guy just speaks perfect English. Just, what? Everyone's so nice here and speak perfect English. Man. And then that leads to one of the most emotional scenes with Happy, like, on the plane. I mean, before that, I don't like knowing that before the Civil War fight, Peter had a wank. That makes me a little uncomfortable to think about that.
Wait, what?
Well, because he watched an adult film before when they were in Germany.
Right, of course.
I guess that helped his Peter Tingle. That's why it was working in the fight.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's weird.
Yep, so that's a bit of knowledge we all know now, but the whole scene in the plane was so perfect.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, man, just picking his suit and putting it all together.
And
he was just moving perfectly like Tony
totally
did.
And Happy's face, just seeing it all. And the moment that I got the audience to applause was when Happy says, "You work on the suit, I'll pick the music," and he played Back in Black, and I just slammed my hands together, and the whole audience cheered, and I was like, "Yes, thank you, friends."
Very nice, very nice. And then he says, "Yeah, I love Led Zeppelin." Oh man,
it was so good.
He's the best.
Tom
Holland.
I still wish. When that played, I was like, okay, good, at least they did it. I still wish in Endgame, when Cap's out the front and Tony pulls up in the car, because you hear the car in the distance, I was like, oh my god, they're going to play Back in Black, it's going to be, like, symmetry, and they don't do it. But I'm glad it popped up somewhere.
So good. But then within the suits that we see, the little holographic suits, we get some little Easter eggs, some PS4 suits.
Yes.
Oh, which is very cool.
Very happy.
I just spotted the main PS4 suit with the big white logo across the front. You can't actually see that it's white, but just the fact that it's a massive spider logo going across the entire torso. But you spotted another one?
The Iron Spider from the comics, but mostly the one from the game, like the kind of upgraded version of that.
Yeah, cool.
We should talk about Edith, which is a new bit of Stark tech that we found out about in this film, which was
yes,
the glasses.
Even dead, I'm the hero.
Yeah, which I liked because, which we'll get to later, I'll just touch on that, Mysterio, even in death, I'm the hero. Mysterio is still the hero at the end of the film, even though he's dead, quotation marks, he's not dead. He's very much not dead.
Yeah, he so isn't.
No. But yeah, Edith, what a cool thing. And I like that it was less so something that ended up really helping Peter. It didn't help him, which then led him more so to trust in himself. Like, I like that it's like the opposite of Homecoming, where it's like the suit is all of his powers. This time, most of the stuff Stark gives him actually ends up screwing stuff over.
Yeah.
I like that. People are going to be happy by the end of this film.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Because it's not all on Stark.
No.
They seem to make out that, well, from what people have, I think, assumed up until this point, like, Stark gives him everything. And to an extent, but that's not what makes him Spider-Man.
No.
Absolutely not. It just helps him a little bit.
Yeah. Hone the senses.
Yes, but I also liked, I know that we've seen, well, that, like, Peter's quite smart because he's on that quiz team thing in Homecoming. But in this, when he's talking about all the different, like, the multiverses and stuff,
that was good.
You finally get to see his smarts.
But, yeah, so by the end of the film, we might as well talk about that before we delve deep into a few other bits and pieces. By the end of the film, he is Spider-Man. He's made a suit for himself. He manages to get his Spider Sense, or his Peter Tingle, working. In one of the, like, everything that happens once he has the black and red suit is, like, that's the Spider-Man I feel like all the Raimi and, you know, Tobey Maguire fanboys have been waiting for. The way he behaves, the things he does, like webbing together stuff to create an explosive that he chucks up, like, all that stuff. It's like, I feel like, and I hope that made people happy.
It's the comic books. He does that all the time. Like, especially OG Spider-Man used to just, like, web things together all the time. He created a freaking living bat at some stage out of webbing somehow. What even the hell? That was, like, what, issue 4 or 5, I think?
It's weird stuff happens.
It's some weird crap. But, yeah, anyway, other than the weird crap, he does some really, really clever, legit crap. Yeah.
I also like when he has webbed together the drones, explosives and stuff, that it's a shield and hammer. Like, it looks like Cap in Endgame.
Oh, man. And
so
just quickly jumping over to Happy trying to throw a shield.
How does Cap do that?
He barely even gets it off the ground. It's so good.
It's so funny. I love the third act. I love the split between Spidey and Happy and the kids. Like, that was done. That was handled so well.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was glad that Ned ended up getting with Betty, at least for as long as he did, just so Angourie Rice could be in this film a little bit more. Because otherwise she just probably wouldn't have been in that scene. And big fan of her. She's good.
She's so great.
Yeah. She's so much fun.
Again, go watch Black Mirror latest season.
Or Nice Guys.
Oh, yeah.
But, the whole end sequence I thought was so good. I loved Mysterio being in the thing, I thought at times got a little further away from the character that I think he should have been.
Being in the thing?
Like, being in the tower, just kind of standing there.
Yeah,
like,
right, yeah.
As much as I loved their interpretation of it, it did feel like not much of it was on his shoulders. But, I mean, we're skipping all over the place, but that's our spoiler cast. If you're here, you know what's going to happen.
Yes.
But, that's my theory. It's theory time.
Okay.
Because if you haven't seen the film, you're off. But if you have seen the film, you know that Mysterio accidentally gets shot by himself. Bad play there, my friend. But, so he's supposedly dead. We do get a message from him at the end of the film. But if that person died, which isn't even Quentin Beck, even Quentin Beck is a made-up thing, I believe old mate from Iron Man 1, he is the real Quentin Beck.
Ooh.
Because in the comics, Quentin Beck is this kind of goofy-looking, tiny, squat, nerdy dude. And, you know, all that guy has to do is do a projection of Jake Gyllenhaal around him, and they'll assume that Mysterio's back. And then you've got Jake Gyllenhaal still in the role, and you've got Mysterio continuing, because he did... people have said that the USB pulls out as the video message, but the guy's also got a backup of all that shit. You know, he's smart, he's a nerd, he goes to the cloud.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're not going to waste Mysterio. You don't bring in the Vulture, you don't bring in Scorpion, you don't bring in Shocker, you don't bring in Mysterio. You've only got 2 more villains to introduce till you have your Sinister Six. You don't waste a villain like Mysterio. He's coming back. And I think that's how.
Definitely. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a cool idea that it is someone else.
Yeah, but you still got Jakey Boy.
Yes, definitely. Please, because he's been amazing. If anyone has not watched the Tom Holland, Jake Gyllenhaal, press conference, not press conferences, but press interviews and stuff.
Oh, buddy.
My goodness. There's a rabbit hole of them.
Yeah.
Go watch all of them. They're amazing.
Right up there with Harrison and Ryan and Russell Cohen. It's so much fun. So yeah, I hope we get more of them in the future. But I quite liked, because it was all relying on Peter Tingle, the way they got rid of Mysterio was really good.
So good. It's just like it's another like super trip. Well, not. It's less trippy.
Yeah, but at the same time,
obviously they just black out everything. But he uses his Spidey Sense and gets through it all, and it looks so good.
So cool.
Oh man, visually it's stunning.
Yeah.
And like we said before, Peter becomes Spider-Man.
He's Spider-Man through and through.
It's his thing. It is very much Iron Man 3.
Yeah. Yeah,
because
totally.
Iron Man 3 is Tony
becoming Tony.
Being a hero, not relying on the suit and stuff.
Yeah.
And in this one, Peter can't get through it without his Spidey Sense, which is all him. Mm-hmm. It's not just the
totally,
suit.
yeah.
So, hell yeah.
So good. And, like, the entire sequence of him swinging around New York, I was crying. I legitimately was almost crying. It was the scale of it, because this Peter is smaller. You know, he's not what Andrew Garfield's Spidey sequence is probably still the best, not gonna lie. But the scale of the buildings compared to him felt more real than the Amazing Spider-Man 2. It was just like he was this tiny little thing swinging through these buildings, doing these amazing things, but the city was dwarfing him around, and it was just beautiful.
Yeah, and I think another thing that added so much more to that was, like, that whole sequence was just so PS4 Spidey, because there are buildings that I recognize from the game. The one where there's like a garden in the middle, and the building goes around it. Like there's a big square of just openness, and there's a garden and like a cafe on top, just in the middle of a building. And he swings through it. I've swung through that. Yeah. I have done that.
Tell you what, next game they need web wings.
Oh, please.
We need to be able to glide.
That'd be so good. And then he takes his Spider-Man PS4 selfie.
Yeah.
It's just perfect. It's so PS4.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's gorgeous.
It's so good. And I love to rub it in the faces of the Raimi fanboys when he swings with MJ. She's like, nah, this sucks. Because that's exactly how it would feel.
Yes. Yeah, totally. Like,
you know, she's not smiling as she clutches into the friggin' mannequin in a suit.
Yeah. Yeah. But like when you like see Spider-Man swinging himself, he always looks so smooth and like it looks like super stylish and stuff, and then when he's holding her, she's like getting thrown around all the time. You can see like how harsh that swinging would actually feel. It looks so much more realistic and less stylish. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's full G-force.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. I love that. A good little bit of little sneaky when he drops her back down to Earth. Behind them is a construction site, and it says Phase 1 ... 2 ... 3. We can't wait to show you what's next.
Really?
On the construction site, there's a sign that says that. Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
What?
It's so funny.
I missed that.
But it's the phases of the construction site, not anything else. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
So good. I was like, nice guys.
That is very clever.
Yeah.
I love it.
Very funny.
Tiny bit disappointed that we didn't see, like, that nothing came of the tower.
Yeah.
Out of all of those, like, it would have been cool to see just, like, an Oscorp logo or...
Just an O.
Yeah, that, or even, Daily Bugle logo.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool to see, just... Even in that last little bit, like, it just sort of, like, if they pan up off...
I thought they were going to. I was waiting for it.
Something like that. It just would have been a cool little drop.
Yeah.
But... I've had a lot of people ask if any of this movie or even the end credit scenes set up much of the rest of Phase 4, and I really feel like it doesn't.
Only the second mid-credit scenes. Oh, the end credit scenes.
Yeah, but... For that, like, the most that does... So we'll just go out and say the Skrull happen to be Nick Fury and Maria Hill.
Yeah. Ben Mendo and his wife.
Yeah, so good. I'm so glad he's sticking around.
I'm so happy.
And Nick Fury is, like, on a ship or on another planet somewhere with the rest of the Skrull who are all working away.
And he's a little tubby. He's had a little break.
He has, yes. And I don't know if you can read more into this, but the most that I got out of that in terms of setting it up is just the Skrull are gonna be around more.
Okay, do you want me to say what it probably is?
Yeah.
Sword.
Okay.
You know, the organization that's in space hovering over Earth that Nick Fury establishes. Maybe it's that.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You know, they're like, hey, we're dealing with the SHIELD stuff that's kind of still happening on Earth. You're probably up in space organizing the next big thing for counterterrorism stuff. That's what I got.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know a whole lot about Sword. I haven't...
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Where, what have you read Sword in?
They're in a lot of the Secret Invasion, which is a Skrull thing, which is why I think it's probably...
I haven't read Secret Invasion. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Go read that. Maybe that'll be my next big series.
It's also actually something created by Joss Whedon.
Really?
Joss Whedon actually wrote the comics that it was involved in, that it was formed during.
There you go.
Yeah. Pretty well.
Right. Very, very cool.
But yeah, so that's like the one little thing, but it's just totally it's the MCU moving forward's a lot more space-bound.
Yes, yeah. And a lot more Skrull-bound.
Yeah.
Seemingly. They're here to stay, which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then shall we jump back to the part that I haven't stopped thinking about for the last 24 hours?
Yep.
Oh, man. So, obviously, if you've seen the film, which you should have by now, you would already know the mid-credit scene where they announce that there is a clip from the battle in Europe coming from the Daily Bugle, and then all of a sudden we get J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson.
Yep.
Holy crap. How did they keep that a secret?
I don't know.
What even the hell? And I guess goodbye Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, look, Gotham needs a new commissioner. Oh, it's so exciting. I'm glad he's here.
It's incredible.
I was like,
so happy.
I was going, wait, because like the guy at the start's like, from an anonymous source we've gotten this video, and I was like, no. Like I just did that the entire scene until it happened. Mm-hmm. I was just like, no.
Yeah, when they mentioned just the Daily Bugle, I was like, oh, are we going to get to see who our new J. Jonah Jameson is?
And you didn't. You didn't get to see who the new one is, because there isn't one.
There isn't a new one. It's the same one.
Oh,
and
buddy.
I was talking to a mate of ours, Peter, today, and I was playing a bit of a game with him. I don't think he really cared too much about the Spider-Man movies because
he doesn't like
Tom Holland Spider-Man. But I said, "Oh, there's a big thing in in the mid credits," and then he just started guessing. So he just kept guessing and guessing and guessing until he went, "I looked it up. I'm going to leave work."
Amazing.
So he was very, very happy.
It's so exciting. And, like, of all things, it's like the double whammy of he's back and he also knows Peter Parker's identity.
Oh, yeah!
It's like, that's a pretty important part of the movie.
Oh, crap, yeah. Jeez.
And that's not the only thing, folks. Oh, man.
That's so good.
Still, the Skrull twist was pretty great. I'm glad that it all made, all the indiscrepancies, some of the things he said, like, it all felt like a hyper version of Nick Fury. Like, it was, bitch please and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's what Ben Mendo's mind, what he can see, the memories of Nick Fury. He's like, he's a pretty badass guy, so that's how I'm going to play him. So it kind of, it makes that all make a little bit more sense.
Yes, yeah. It was... Yeah, it was a great twist.
It was so unexpected.
At first, I thought in the car when I saw them changing in the car.
Yeah,
and it was only Maria at first. I was like, "Holy crap, she's been a Skrull the whole time."
Yeah,
I thought it was just going to be her. Yeah, I thought it was just going to be her the entire time, and then he was going to like turn and look at her and be like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah,
and not realize
it's secret evasion. She's like a bad one. Like, shit's going down.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that would have been a cool, like, setup for the rest of Phase 4.
Yeah. Where'd Nick Fury go? Yeah.
Yeah, fire. That would have been cool.
But, never mind. It was still
it's
cool.
all good.
I just want to also, I was just looking, I've gotten all my other kind of Easter eggs out. The one, my favourite, like, my eyes rolled into the back of my head when Happy says something like, sorry Pepper couldn't be here. I'm like, fucking Gwyneth Paltrow! Just be in the movies, stop being a shit! I'm just so overhearing those words every second film.
Yeah. And then the fact that she didn't even know she was in Spider-Man in that other thing.
Yeah. God, that lady.
She's like, no, that was an Avengers movie.
No,
that was the end of Spider-Man. We were making him an Avenger. God. Oh my gosh.
That lady. Okay, I'm just avoiding the actual word I want to use. I want to talk about Flash in this movie.
Yeah, sure.
I've got a little theory there as well.
Okay.
So, one of two options. One, they're setting up, and I know this is going to be a jump, but there's a lot of things that I noticed that set this up. One, they're setting up his descent into alcoholism, which is in the comics. And why is that?
Jeez.
Because the whole film, he's getting texts from about his father's condition. He's not well. When he turns up the airport, he's like, what, Mum couldn't make it? Like, it's like his family life sucks. But who else has a terrible family life? Harry Osborn. And who else has a dying father in one of the other movies? But, hopefully they don't do the same thing Amazing Spider-Man did. But he's got a dying father in this movie. Who else does? Harry Osborn.
Holy crap.
I'm like, are they going to do that? Are they going to make Flash the guy?
That's interesting.
So that was the thing that I was like confused about. Although, spoilers for Spider-Man PS4, maybe they'll take a bit of that and still do Venom as Flash. And like, that's the way he's evil. It's not, but I'm just like, it's a very Osborn thing. It's a rich kid. Because Flash isn't generally rich, so they've already given him that attribute of Harry Osborn. And then it's like, his father's not well, he's got a bad home life, and I'm just like, there's a lot of signs there.
Yeah, that's super interesting. I didn't pick up that his dad was sick. That was probably through the text messages?
Yes.
That Peter could see through the glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to, like, focus on different messages in that. And I'm like, oh, there's so much to look at.
So you saw the one of witchcraft, which I didn't see until I watched some trailers. I saw that one.
Yes, yep. The science teacher looking up, like, the history of witches or something. Brilliant.
Good ongoing thing. And then, well, we haven't touched on it, actually. And MJ, thought that romance came together perfectly. My God.
Ah, that was so nice.
It was so heartwarming.
It was beautiful. And, like, I love that the music, like, swelled up and got huge when they just, like, pecked.
Yeah,
like, they just did
so
a tiny kiss, and the music was huge. And it was just this tiny little kiss.
Yeah.
And then they, like, kissed a little bit again.
Yeah.
Later.
And then they had a proper kiss.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
It's so adorable. And I like the logic of she's MJ only for him. Like, when they're together, you can see the MJ of the comics. Like, you can see the flirtiness, but it's like, I like, because that's a lot of young girls now. Unless you are within their circle, unless you break down that barrier, they're quite cold, and because it's a tricky world. So I like that they've given her that.
Yeah.
That she's MJ for Peter, like because they connect.
Yeah, because people do, like, people, not just girls, but guys do.
Yeah,
put
totally.
up walls and just act sarcastic and dark, basically to add an air of mystery around them to stop people from talking to them.
Yeah,
so they don't want to talk to people.
Totally.
Yeah, the fact that, like, obviously she likes Peter, Peter likes her, and Peter doesn't run away from her even though she's weird.
Yeah.
She opens up to that. That's great. It's such a good... This had such good character development for her.
I liked it. And also, perfectly reasonable, because she does say she basically is stalking him in the first film. Totally reasonable that she'd work out he's Spider-Man.
Yeah, totally. And I love when he actually says it, and she's like, "Are you serious? I was only 66% sure."
Yeah. He's like, "Oh no!"
That was so great.
Oh man.
She seems so sure, and then she's like, I didn't actually know.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And just touching, I wanted to bring up MJ because I want to talk about the music. Because I love the music. So, this is just, I adore this so much. So in Spider-Man Homecoming, and the theme carries over in this, which is such a good theme. It matures a little bit in this one, which I like as well. But the opening two notes of the Spidey theme, I'm sorry, but this is
the opening two notes.
But it gets deeper than this.
This is the opening two notes is pretty deep.
Well, it's dun dun, like it's that, which is the start of the theme, and that's kind of tying to Peter. And so those two notes, the dun dun, are in the Spidey theme, but they're also both in the love theme for Liz and for MJ. And there's a certain riff that's in both of those themes that is different. That there's like one riff which is clearly it's Peter, but there's the overarching theme which changes between Liz's love theme and MJ's love theme. But those opening notes are still in both of them. And when I say opening notes, I mean kind of the melody. Those two notes reappear throughout. So that's Peter's Spider-Man theme. And they're in both of the love themes, but the main melody of the love theme changes. So it's like the love themes are written for a certain person, but it's involving Peter, so it still ties to those notes. So that's quite cool. And that made me very happy.
Far out, man.
Yeah. But on top of that...
I'm the musician here.
Yeah, no. On top of that, Vulture's theme in the first film is it's Spidey's theme in a minor key. So it's tied to that in that way. Mysterio's one is structured around Spidey's theme again. So it's, again, Michael Giacchino's done this amazing thing where he's created a universe through the score by utilizing kind of melody and motifs around the main theme he's created. And it just makes me so very, very happy. Because I love me some scores. And also on Mysterio's theme, I love that it's like this superhero thing. Like it seems positive, but he still uses exactly the same theme for when he's bad, and it seems bad. Like, it's the perfect kind of, ironically, mysterious theme. It's kind of got this heroic gravitas, but it's also got a lot of minor key in it, so it works when he's bad as well. And
very cool.
I love the scores of these two films, and I'm very happy that foreseeably there's continuity between all the films because they're keeping their directors, which is what the issue was in the first phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You had different directors, which brought different composers, whereas now we're keeping everyone. So,
yes.
Finally, we're getting the goods, and Will's happy.
It's so good. And I was just going to make a joke about how the themes of this change all the time, like you just said, but they're all linked. In comparison to something like The Incredibles 2, where they have one theme and they use that for the whole film.
Michael,
don't change it.
Michael, you're sometimes good, but sometimes...
Please.
Just write something else. Maybe they didn't pay him enough.
Man. So bizarre. But anyway, I was just going to point that out.
Yeah, totally.
But yes, gorgeous. Oh man. Good movie.
Very, very good.
Great movie. Good start to Phase 4.
Well, it's the end of Phase 3.
End of Phase 3. Great end to Phase 3, I guess.
Yeah, weird. I don't know why, I guess. It's a bit of an epilogue. I will say I kind of wanted maybe a teensy bit more linking of the Tony Stark kind of mourning. I feel like there was 2 scenes about it, and both really good scenes, but they did kind of come back rather than flow throughout. It was a little bit like, oh yeah, we've got to still deal with that factor.
Yeah. Like I think just jumping like right back to the start, where Peter as Spider-Man is getting interviewed by all the people at the fundraiser, and he sort of freaks out. That's sort of like nothing.
That was great. Yeah,
it was really good, but then nothing really amounts to.
Yeah, totally. That's like, what I mean.
He brings it up later, as like, oh, everyone wants me to be the next Iron Man, but I can't do that.
Yeah,
but yeah, it seemed cut short. I think that's what maybe I felt was lacking a little bit, was just bits at the start felt like they were just cut short.
Well, they definitely were.
Stuff was sort of taken out to get us to Europe.
Because, it's basically, that scene is basically the Iron Man 3, like, what was in the wormhole? When Tony, freaks out. And that, is pivotal in the film, and from that point, he doesn't recover until the end. Whereas, I think that friggin' scene cuts to him being on the plane or something. Like, it's very much, we're straight away.
Yeah, almost.
There's not much that happens between.
Yes, yeah. It's like from that to packing to being at the airport.
Throwing a banana at his head was one of the best moments of the film as well.
That was pretty great, yeah. Breakfast, bang!
So good. I know we've been talking so positively on this film. There is one thing in the whole film that I wish wasn't in it. Mm-hmm. It's him not taking his suit at all. Peter Parker would never do that.
Yeah.
He would never leave his suit behind. With great power comes great responsibility. He's going on holidays, but I wish there was the moment of hesitation, but then he rolls his eyes, takes the suit, and puts it in. Like, the fact that he doesn't take it at all, I don't like. It's like, it was ramming the idea that he wanted to break too hard home, and it's not what Peter would do. Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah. It was like a great moment of comedy, opening it up and finding it in there, but I'm like, I wish there was another way to do that didn't make him abandon that completely.
Yeah.
But,
like, they could have just done the opening of it, and he's a kid, so he didn't even think to pack it, securely and secretly.
Small niggle, and, he still tries to save everybody from Hydro Man. If he had gone another step further and been like, not my problem, that's when it would have been a problem in the film. But he still wants to help.
And one other thing that I hope doesn't come up again, it was fine in this movie, and I'm happy for it to stay in this movie, but I hope it stays in this movie and doesn't come outside, is the Peter Tingle, as we keep mentioning. It's fine for this, but please stop calling it the Peter Tingle.
Yeah.
It was good for this.
I feel like it'll never be called the Spidey Sense, but it should just not be talked about again.
Yeah.
It'll never be... That is the name they want for the MCU, fine, but never mention it as that again. Just leave it be.
So why don't you think it's going to be called Spidey Sense?
Because they've officially said that it's called the Peter Tingle in the MCU.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Where was that announced?
John Watts has said it, Kevin Feige has said it, and Tom Holland has said it.
No. That's so stupid.
Yeah, they went with it.
Damn it. I really don't want that to come up again, though. I hate this movie.
Oh,
1 star. Review over.
Oh, man. I don't have a problem with it in the slightest, but I could understand it being an issue.
Yeah. Like,
I don't care about anything. Like, I literally don't care what they take from the comics in terms of Peter, apart from the suit thing. This is an entirely different character. It's never been this Peter Parker of our comics. It's a different universe Peter Parker. So I don't really care what they call the things. I don't care what abilities he has, as long as at his core he is the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. That's all I care about.
Yeah. That's fair enough. Yeah, I think just the Peter Tingle is just, if they keep calling it that, it's just going to be this weird joke that happens every single time talking about like one of his abilities. Like one of his abilities shouldn't constantly be laughed at.
Yeah, right.
Like if they continued to do this for the entirety of the MCU, I think that would grate on me a little bit.
Yeah, okay. That's fair enough.
Like I don't care what they call it, but just that, like the fact that it's just always funny.
Yeah. I mean, Spidey Sense has been coined as the term for an erection since the 1960s. You know, people, that's definitely a joke. My Spidey Sense is tingling. Yeah,
but it's less of a joke within the context of Spider-Man.
Yeah, okay. I mean, actually, I didn't think about the fact Tingle is already in there. In the Spidey Sense.
How do you mean?
Spidey Sense is tingling. So they've just brought the tingle.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
So it's already part of the phrase. So
yeah,
it's not too far outside of the realm. But I think that's Spider-Man. I think, where would you put that in terms of the Spider-Man films, disregarding Spider-Verse because it's just not fair? Is it, where's it sitting?
Oh, man. See, I'm still unsure as to whether it's above Homecoming for me. Because I really love Homecoming.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie. Yeah.
Probably neck and neck then?
Yeah, maybe. Because, like, and then I really love Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
Like, because that's a great movie too.
Yep.
Buddy.
It's tricky.
I suck at rating things like this, but I still feel at this point in time, I think if I saw it again, maybe it would sway me a little bit more. But at this point in time, I think Homecoming is just that little bit higher.
Yep.
Because the first half didn't hit me as much as I would hope, whereas Homecoming hit me the entire time.
Yeah.
So maybe it could be like Homecoming, Amazing Spider-Man 1, and then this.
Yeah.
But it's probably got room to move the more I see it, since I've seen the other ones so many times.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty much the same. I did, when the credits rolled, I just turned to Vaughn and I'm like, I think that's my favorite one ever.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, like, just, I was on such a high. Before any of the mid or end credits, I was just like, I don't know what it was, but that film just got me. But I will say that yeah, I think Homecoming at this point is still just a little bit above it. But I do think that I would place it as a film above Amazing Spider-Man. But as a Spider-Man film, yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 1 would probably still be above it. Because I think, you know, it's not the best Spider-Man film. Because it's not the Spider-Man, you know. But as a film, God, it's fun. It's just so much fun.
It is, yeah. It's a lot of good fun. If for some reason you made it all the way through this podcast and you haven't seen it, please just go see the damn movie.
Go see the bloody thing, mate.
It's very good. Take your friends, if they haven't seen it and you have.
Yeah.
Get everyone you can and go see it.
Please do.
Please do.
But that is all the time we have for Spider-Man, but we have 2 other Marvel podcasts you can check out. We've got a Dark Phoenix one on both the film and the comic series, as well as the all the announcements from Phase 4 at San Diego Comic-Con. Ran out of breath. In both places of the YouTubes or the Spotifys.
Yes. I was very confused. Yep, so you can check us out on there. We are also on Patreon, so just however much tiny little bits of cash or more cash, whatever, helps us out a whole bunch. We bought some new webcams that we've barely used because we've been so damn busy working. There you go. I think that wraps it all up.
That's it. Let's go. I'm Will and we're gone.
And yeah.
Who are you?
Thwip, thwippity sheep.
Spider-Man!
Oh my gosh.